And we are live. Adjusting my camera here. How's it going, gentlemen? Welcome to Thursday morning, the MMT Live Investment Show. A little bit of change of scenery for a couple of us today. Tim, you're on the road, or?
Nope, yeah? At our place in Gulf Shores.
Nice. What?
I'm sorry?
Gotcha. And it was fine through this most recent hurricane?
Yeah, didn't touch us. We're still doing remediation from the one last year, Sally. They're rebuilding our marina. And you would not believe the amount of hurdles it goes through to get something built in the water.
Yeah, incredible. I would imagine. And how quickly one of those bad storms can mess it up. I've seen pictures of boats on top of boats and boats on top.
Yeah, there were about 468 piers and marinas.
Crazy stuff
on the back bay, and every one of them was destroyed.
Wow.
Wow.
Devastating stuff. That's why they always have the $1 billion price tag and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting hard to get insurance here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I guess the private companies are probably national, so yeah. Is there a difference in you guys can't really control the weather out there, but you still got to pay higher premium?
Yep. Well, they emptied their coffers last year with all the hurricanes, and that means one thing: higher prices.
Yep, absolutely.
But it's okay.
I see Mark. Yep, Mark is out of the cash RV today.
He's out in the cash RV.
Yep. Yeah, he's in the portable hotel room now. Yeah. Yep. First of all, I want to apologize for my connection. It's been a touch unstable. We're getting it stabilized here. So if I lag out at all, just feel free to keep discussing. I'd also like to introduce Randy. He does our longer term techniques. How's it going today, Randy? How was your week?
Going good. Market just keeps going up. But can't help it like that, huh?
Yeah.
Unless you're selling puts.
Yeah, it makes your techniques pretty simple. Right?
Wrong technique right now.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make cheetahs.
For context, could you give 30 seconds on how your technique works and why market going up is a good thing for you?
Oh, for me? Cover calls. We teach how to use cover calls to generate weekly income. That's cash added to your portfolio, not just a piece of paper or numbers going up, but actual cash going into the portfolio. And a cover call is buy the stock and sell a call against it, which gives the right to somebody to buy your stock at a set price up to a set date, and you decide what that is. They pay you money up front for that, and that's your income. And so when the market goes up, it's like guaranteed to get called out. And called out is what we want to do because we're back to cash and have the income locked in. And then we select a new position. So it keeps going up. It's kind of, cover calls is kind of an easy thing to do if you select it right and follow the rules.
Yeah, it's easier in the fact that we still have techniques to generate cash flow, even
very rule based
around, but they're easy to get in and get out of that way.
Yep, absolutely. And then we are also joined by Mr. Hooper. I see your environment hasn't changed, but your name on your window has. Very, very catchy. I like it.
Wait, still Hooper? You mean it's uncapitalized?
Exactly. I think you should get into basketball a little bit now that your leg's healed up, and we'll call you Hoops.
Yeah, we'll just call him Hoops.
That'd be perfect. We do over the our side of the house. We do the MicroMoment, which is sort of like Randy's, except we're only in a trade for 15 or 16 seconds on average. And they were out today. We had 8 trades. We made 28.1880%, which brought us up. That was that's just for the hour. We only trade 1 hour a day. And our seminar is from 8:30 to 9:30. And yesterday we were up Monday through Wednesday, 105% plus some change, and then add that today, 28. So about 50%, something like that. We're up for the week. And last week we were, 250% up, something like that. So I don't think it's going to be quite that high this week, but hopefully we'll break 200. And these trades, the instructors, Randy and Mark and Cezanne and Tim, you follow what they're doing, you see what they're doing on the chart, the proprietary charting we have, and they teach you how to read that chart and how to enter and exit that trade. That's the only rule. There's only one. Randy has a book that weighs about 25 pounds, 500 pages of rules. The MicroMoment only has one. On your trading platform, you got a green light and a red light, and it shows you the state of your stock in the market, up or down. And when you enter it, it's going to be green. And when you exit, if you see it come up red before you exit, you're supposed to exit. You get out of it. Take a smaller return or take a 1 or 2 cent loss, and you're through with it. And then you just go right. You may be back in that same trade again in a few seconds. So who knows? But anyhow, it's a fantastic technique. Fantastic. We've been doing it now as a subscription service, 128 weeks. Tomorrow's the end of the 128th week. And we've been doing it in our own accounts for over 5 years. And these guys are trading our accounts plus their own. Easy to learn. We don't even have a book because we don't have any things to do like Randy does. And so it's a good compliment. If you're old and lazy like Randy, then you're going to go with the covered calls. And if you're vibrant like myself, I don't even capitalize my name yet, you're going to like the MicroMoment. So, Tim, why don't you tell them how you do MicroMoments? Plus, Tim has a special service he offers now too, along with Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a great week. Well, we've had great weeks. We've been slowly but surely moving up our average. We've been averaging over 200% a week for months now, and it's a very, very simple technique. We trade on volume. We look for breakouts for momentum. Because of our ICE charts, our proprietary charting system, we were able to identify exhaustion in a direction and turnarounds early in, and we're able to jump in on those and make 5 or 10 cents on a trade, and you make 3 or 4 of those a day, and you're doing great. You only need to make 1 or 2% a day to build wealth with this simple technique. And in fact, if you have a spare napkin, I can put all the rules and directions on one side of that napkin. It's very simple trading. It's fast. It's exciting. We make probably 80% of our trades in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the session. And then as the market calms down a little bit, we look for some breakouts. But I mean, good heavens, it doesn't get any easier. If it was more complicated than this, I probably wouldn't understand it. So very simple technique. In fact, you can go over to our site, MicroMomentTrading.com, and pick up on a free 2-week trial and check out what we do. I had 2 good trades this morning. Ended up the day with a plus 24, I believe.
You had 3 good trades. One of them was 8.26% and 3.4 to 3.5.
Okay, nice. There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. So it's simple, and as Joe just said, our rule is when a trade turns, goes the opposite direction, we get out just as quickly as possible. We minimize our losses to 2 to 3 cents, and the winners take care of themselves. So easy technique. And just a little shameless self-promotion here. We are now offering one-on-one coaching, and currently I think I'm the only one up on the site right now. But if you go over to MicroMomentTrading.com and go over to the coaching, you can pick up a half hour, an hour of trading, and we can usually identify what's going on. If your trades haven't been as good as you'd like them to be, we can usually identify the issue very, very quickly and get that corrected. And we've had a couple of sessions last week, and they're both doing very well. So if you'd like to pick up some training, go over there. Mark will be up very soon as his futures program rolls out. I'm sure he'll be available for coaching. I'm sure his schedule will fill up very fast. Very excited about that new program. Anyway, that's it for me.
Now, since Mark has the trading RV, is he going to go to your house to give you that one-on-one? He just travels around the country,
depending on where that is. But yeah,
I mean, that's really personal service.
There you go.
That's right. He might even wash your dog too.
Maybe,
wash and groom the dog and do other things at the same time. Hey, I just want to say one thing though. Even though I teach the cover call techniques and process and do that the majority of my time, I still trade the micro-moment trading technique. I just use SPX. My trades today were 2.8% and 3.8%. So of a profit. Nice. And so I just want to throw that in. That I do all the various techniques that we teach, but my concentration is on the cover calls.
Yep. Right.
Yep.
One thing which I didn't say, when they're trading the micro moments, we only trade the indexes except for Apple, which is close to an index. So we don't know. We're not worried about the quality of the stock. If you want to trade stocks, you just have to think about that because you're only going to trade. You can do it with anything, but we use QQQ and SPY and Apple primarily. So.
Yep, absolutely. And I'll also mention that I do covered calls along with Randy as well, which has been real steady long-term income. It's like renting properties. It's great. And I'm really looking forward to Mark's futures program. I'm really excited about the opportunity there. So can't wait for that to get started.
As well as I definitely will be following along with Mark. I've been doing some virtual trading on the futures and fun stuff because I don't have to do it while the stock market is open. I can do it later on.
Yeah.
Look how Mark does it when he's getting ready to come on. He takes you out into space, and then all of a sudden,
zooms you back in.
That's right. There he is. Yeah, spaceman.
The futures are just something new that we're introducing that I've done for a while, so it's going to be a little more dynamic. As Randy's probably seen if he's been doing some practicing with that. But like Tim, I just want to reiterate too. Like Tim, Randy does also do one-on-one coaching. We're going to set up one-on-one coaching for futures, and again, it's just a means to help accelerate your learning or correct issues you may be having, and help you be successful, which is what we want you to be. But the future is rolling out here pretty soon, so we're hoping the next couple of weeks we can actually start doing that. We'll probably do a couple of days, I think we're saying, maybe Thursday, Friday for a week or two, then accelerate that to maybe every day of the week. But it's going to start a little bit early in the morning at 7:45, and then maybe up to 9:30, 9:45, so we catch the market open. And they move pretty fast. If Randy's seen those in the opening at all, he notices, I'm sure, that they can change direction quickly. They move fast, and they're kind of exciting. So,
yeah, Mark, I know in options there's some slightly difference, a slight difference between the days. You get a little bit more volatility, a little bit more volume on say a Thursday over a Monday. Is that present with futures as well? Is there a better day to trade?
When we think about the futures, every day when you get up in the morning, people look at CNBC, we see the NASDAQ or S&P or whatever Dow moving. Whatever that market's doing, it's already been doing it usually before the market's open, right? So we can track that, we can utilize that to take advantage of it. And also during market opening, obviously the markets can change as well. So it depends on the day, right? So sometimes there'll be some great up days, great down days. So the greater the swings, I guess, and the greater the market volatility sometimes, we can take advantage of that quickly, either before market, after market, or during the same time frame. So you would even with the options or micro-moment trading. A lot of times morning opening is really good, or a little bit before, and then maybe after lunch or something, or right before the close, right? So same things apply.
Yeah, I think too, one of the exciting things coming up, which Mark hadn't had a chance to do anything about yet, but 2 days ago they started trading Bitcoin as an option.
Yeah.
ETF, new ETF that's out there. Yep.
Yeah.
and that's going to be huge.
Yeah, that ticker symbol BITO.
When the S&P first came on as an ETF, it traded like, and this was several years ago, it traded like 40 million shares the first day, and we trade on volume. That's why this is so significant. And when the first day, 2 days ago, when the ETF came out on Bitcoin, 980 million or billion, 980 billion shares were traded, something like that.
Billion,
yeah, huge.
So, yeah, it was almost a billion, right? Never had that before. That was just shows you the excitement or buzz that's around the Bitcoin, environment, I guess, right now. So.
Yeah, and it certainly helped Bitcoin rise.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's good. Now that BITO ETF, it's actually an ETF on the Bitcoin futures.
Yes.
Correct.
It's not actually owning and buying and selling Bitcoin itself. It's trading the futures inside the ETF. So Mark, I think you're going to be actually doing futures on the futures, right?
So we talked about on the Bitcoin doing that. It's / there BTC as the ticker symbol for the Bitcoin futures. We've been looking at that a little bit, so we'll eventually introduce that and do some work around that. So
yeah, it was really exciting to see the options volume start to come in on that ETF as well. Usually when a stock starts offering options, it's a bit of a a time for them to gain popularity, a time for them to gain enough volume to where it's actually tradable, right? Just because an option it exists, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for us. We need high volume, high liquidity. And so if an option only gets a couple hundred trades on it throughout the day, probably not, worth our time yet. So that's why we trade bigger and more established companies like Apple and Q and SPY. For that reason, they also don't change very often. The top dogs tend to stay there. And we haven't had really an exciting prospect for anything to trade options on in a while. I'd still say we're months, a few months to a year out on having enough volume in it consistently on a daily basis to trade it. But with that much initial interest, I think we could possibly trade options on that ETF. Is that a personal opinion, or do you guys think that as well?
I think it has potential. As you say, if it can keep up the volume and have the volatility that we look for, it's certainly viable. When that will be, we don't know yet, but there certainly seems to be a ton of interest in it.
Yeah, and also, Mike, it's already in our charting, our proprietary charting, which is great because that's how you trade the micro moments is on the proprietary charting. So,
yep, yeah, MicroMoment started out as an option technique, and though the futures is a different financial tool, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but a lot of those same chart indications and things we look for are going to be similar. I kind of see MicroMoment, the technique, expanding into being able to use this technique on multiple things, but the core technique kind of holding true. What are going to be the main differences so far that you've seen on futures as opposed to options, even though you're using the same charting?
So, using the same ISE, toolbox charting that we have, right? The only difference, we're going to be looking at a 3-minute chart and then possibly a 5-minute chart. 3-minute to me seems to be about the optimum time. 5 minutes a little bit too long sometimes. Things happen in 5 minutes. What that means is simply that if you're doing a bar chart or a candlestick chart, every 3 minutes it's going to print a new candle, right? Or a new bar. So one's going to close, next is going to open, and then we've got some indicators around that to help us enter that trade and exit that trade. So it's similar, but yet there's some new rules and items around it that are going to help us work that trade.
What's so cool too, Mark, that that time of day you can be trading those futures, and a lot of times by the time Mark signs into our meeting that starts at 8:30 Central Time for MicroMoment, he's already made a couple $1,000 doing this future stuff. So
yeah, definitely, because like at 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes the market will move, or even 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually sleeping then, but a lot of the market movement happens early on or before the market even opens, right? So when we start looking at the futures, they're down 100 points on the Dow. They're up 200 points. It's because overnight some things have been trading, and the futures have changed the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always fun to, as we do our morning announcements, to check in with Mark and see how much money he's already made before the market opens.
Getting a jump on everybody. Fantastic. Peter says good morning. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Peter. Yeah.
Been seeing Peter show up on our Instagram as well. I'll put our Instagram handle up. There's something cool going on Instagram right now that I wanted to mention. And we launched into a series recently where we're going back over terminology at the base level. So far, we started off with an option, a call, and a put, defining what they are, and then giving a brief example on what they really are in practice. There's a lot of words in the market that get confusing, a lot of long words. We're trying to simplify those things down, refine them down, be really easily comprehensible. So we're starting at the basics, but we'll get into a bunch of terms that are commonly used, but hopefully give you guys a concrete understanding of what they actually do through analogies, things like that. And I think it'll be really helpful for any brand new beginners. Go take a look at the Instagram, and you'll see those start to come through over these next few weeks. But we got a lot of really exciting things coming up in general. It's been cool to watch MicroMoment kind of evolve as a process, because oftentimes when something goes on for a while, you add more to it, and it gets a bit more complicated, more to it. But we've really been in a process of continually simplifying MicroMoment and making it easier to do and more simple to understand, more simple to enter and exit. Trying things along the way, but ultimately ending up at the most simple format of it every time. It's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, good. Yep.
Yeah, it's exciting. I wish we were at liberty to tell more about the changes and new things that we have coming up, but we've got some exciting stuff unfolding.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, we got to keep it all hush right now, but we will we'll get there for sure.
Yep.
We're going to be.
It's just the same. Which it's our technique. We're going to be able to demonstrate a technique just more efficiently and help everybody be successful. Is our intent, right? We want you to be successful, and that's what we're trying to put out here, so we can.
Yeah, but it's not like Facebook. We're not changing our name.
No.
And we're not going to get called to Capitol Hill, right? To testify.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
I would certainly hope not.
Yeah. We'll send
But might have more pressing. Sorry.
We'll send Micah.
What did you say, Mark? Oh yeah.
If we call the Capitol Hill, we'll send Micah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stand there very awkwardly and do my best to speak within all the compliance terms.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yes. One thing I can share though, that's coming up and very exciting is we are developing our crypto program at full speed. So within the next 2 months, we're going to start dropping a lot of information about crypto as well. We're going to start not so much from a trading perspective. To be consistently profitable in trading, we find that it requires kind of what I said for our requisites for Apple. Why we trade Apple and Q. They're large. They're not going to go out of business, as Hooper says. They have these securities tied into them, which well, everyone can argue about crypto. It is volatile, and everybody agrees on that, right? So the trading side of that will be a little bit slower of a start, but we want to start bringing education about it. Some of the long-term holds you can do, some of those long-term things that as the market starts to form and figure itself out, as people start to understand what on earth an NFT is, that we can start to offer some guidance in the new structures of how some of those things may work. So again, not much trading, but we do have a lot coming along the way of crypto if you're curious about that.
And Mike, something that's interesting also, as we're all sitting here, Tim just texted me a trade. He's sitting there doing trades from MicroMoment, and he made 12.38095%. Now, a mutual fund is likely to make 5% a year. So he made almost what a mutual fund makes in one trade during this session while you were speaking. So,
Awesome.
So we had a nice little push down about 3-4 minutes ago happened, and jumped in on that. Made a few.
I will just pull up. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the Yahoo Finance chart, and we'll just see the push that occurred. Mm-hmm. I don't use this screen share feature enough, so I'm trying to.
Yeah, and actually the reversal, very tight V, as it bottomed out and has retraced a good 50%. So there was another good trade happening right there. I didn't take advantage of that, but we often see this when we have sudden push downs. We'll often see a very tight V form. Yeah, there it is. There we go.
Yep. Yeah. So you are referring to this last recent drop, right, Tim?
Yes, sir.
Can you kind of say what you saw? Was it a bounce off of that top resistance?
Yeah. Been monitoring support and resistance, and it hit about that. Yeah, it's been topping out in the 40, finding resistance there, and then immediately retreating. But this one went down quickly in a straight line, had a small little pause, and then continued on down, and hit support right about the even dollar mark.
Significant drop there.
Yeah, we're finding Apple is finding support and resistance around the 60s and the even dollar mark. And we'll see significant reversals happen there. But was looking for that nice tight V at the bottom of that drop, which did form. Could have jumped in on that. Yeah, that's even a better example. You can see the lengthening red candle right off of that short green before that drop start. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And what we saw in the ice charts is we saw that all three of them crossed very closely together, which indicates to us very, very strong momentum in that direction. So jumped on that early as it passed through our M1. This is the reason why everybody should have their own ice charts. There are things that we have in our ice charts that you just can't see on a regular underlying chart.
Yep.
So those are really must-haves. Anyway,
you were teaching also, and this 12% will report.
Yeah. Sorry.
No. What I was saying was that 12% won't report until tomorrow, so we're starting off 12% plus already. But if you add it today, we're over 40% for today, just on the MicroMoment. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the individual trade percentage. We combine those and
you add them all up, and then it's 40+%. That would have been over. This would have been the NAF trade again. I've already sent it out, so it won't go on today. It's going to go out tomorrow. So.
Yep. Yeah, we've been talking about that 60 cent phenomenon on Apple for a few years now. It has existed. It's something to be aware of if you're already an active trader on Apple, is what it does when any dollar ends in 0.60. And it's about 5 cents on either side of it. But you'll see, even today we've hit it, nearly 3 times in a row before that big drop. It happens from the top side and the bottom side, depending on where you are traveling in that day. But if there's any active traders watching, I would recommend keeping an eye on Apple at that 60 cent mark. It's something that happens every day, and it's really interesting to watch. We haven't been able to, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, we haven't been able to establish that much of a reason why. If there's some sort of influence that happens there, if there's some sort of institutional buying that happens there, we're not sure, but the system is based off of trading those patterns that occur daily.
Yeah, we don't know why. We just know that it tends to find its support and resistance at those marks. We're also in the run up to earnings, which kind of throws an extra wrench into things. It has made Apple a little more expensive. It's not too bad right now, but we tend to have more exaggerated movement and unpredictable movement as we run up to earnings. But that's just opportunity for us. We love volatility. We trade volatility. Volume creates volatility. So, it's all good for us. We love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I looked at that 60 cent mark the one time before, and really, I think it aligns more with some of the Fibonacci retracements and what happens at those points. That some algos or algorithm may be trading automatically and stuff. But anyway, that's what we suspect.
Yeah. I mean, it could be all machine driven, and likely is. As the big boys jump in near these marks, whatever it is, we know it and we trade them.
Yep, exactly. Fantastic. And then Mark, you were trading QQQ today until you. We don't need to go over that chart.
Yep.
Fantastic. And I wanted to mention our Powerport topic as well. Heading into that now before we close out here. So this week the Powerport was discussing Fidelity opening up their account requirements. Joe, do you want to talk about what they're doing over there?
No, Micah, because I'm not familiar with that. I had not read that.
Oh, I was under the impression you wrote it. I'm so sorry.
No. I'm sorry. I did not write it. No, I did not.
Gotcha.
So,
I think
it comes out today, right? Oh, it was last Thursday.
It was last Friday. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that was the premise around that was I think they were opening accounts for the younger people to indoctrinate them into the trading mechanisms that big corporate has in place, right?
Yeah. And this probably is the best time in the world. This is kind of weird. Most things I do are kind of weird, but we talk about, and we've got that thing we send out to our MicroMoment people. If they follow and just make 6% a week, not 40% a day, but 6% a week, following, Mark and Tim and Cezanne on these trades in a week, 6% a week, and they start off with $2,000, just $2,000, and right at 2 years exactly, they're going to have over $800,000 in spendable cash. Now, what's interesting is, and I've been saying that thing for a couple of years now. And people come back and say, yeah, but where does my kid get $2,000? Where does my kid get $2,000? Right now, he just has to walk outside and somebody's going to throw him and hit him on the head with it. Because all these places are wanting to hire people and they want to give you, like Amazon wants to give you $3,000 right now. Go take it and just work long enough to, where you meet their rules for keeping it. And you got not only 2, you got 3. And all you had to do is just, we could all just get a job right now and get a big bonus just by picking up the phone and making a quick phone call. So.
Yeah. And I think that is a reality for a lot of young people, is getting that job first and then being conscious of how to start those processes early, right? Whether it be saving or investing in the right ways, starting to do those things at a young age. We were talking about Starbucks, because Starbucks at a certain amount of time, they give you shares of Starbucks. And then after a year, it's vested and then you own those shares. There's lots of programs like that you can use to start, start building that, because I think those additional years make up for a huge, an inch here is a mile there when you're, 30 and start saving or investing for retirement. But when you're 17, 18, 25, the massive effect, if you start, making a percentage return on a consistent basis, even if it is just monthly or, 1% a week or 0.5% a week. I think the disconnect probably comes that younger people don't know the value of a consistent percentage return and what it looks like when it compounds. And then older people really, a lot of them haven't learned it or how to go about that investing procedure. So I mean, that's the main goal of these transitions that we're making, is to really simplify those things, and make it approachable for everybody.
Yeah, and Mike, and a record of repeating myself. So many of the mutual fund companies come out and say, "Well, put your money with us, and we're going to get you 5 or 6% a year." And look, you give us $3,000 a month, and in 65 years, when you retire, let's say you're starting off in your 20s, you retire, or 55 years or so, you're going to have $1 million. Well, $1 million, 55 years now, not going to be worth much money. And but they're going to pay you 5%, 5%, and you'll have $1 million where you can have $1 million. Even our worst case, when Mark and I started, we used to could only make 3% a month, and you still ended up in 10 years with $1 million.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at the core of what we do is to give people the knowledge to be self-directed investors or traders, to really just take responsibility, for the power of your own money. And there was a commercial I saw this morning on CNBC about this woman. She's a little girl. She starts saving for her lifelong dream of climbing Mount Everest, right? And each scene that happens, she's older and older. Well, by the time she's like 75, she's climbing Mount Everest with her walker, and had made enough money to climb Mount Everest. And I'm thinking, you scrimped and saved that entire, like that. Exactly.
There's Joe. He's got his cane.
Yeah. Hoop there with his thing. But
that must be a hurricane.
Yeah.
But I think of all those intervening years of just scrimping and saving and hoping to get 3 to 5%, just so you get into your old age and you can achieve your one long dream, and if that's how you're saving for retirement, I mean, that's fine. But we believe we have a better way here, and with a little bit of education on how to do this, you can break out of that, and you can have more life in your life. We are an education service, and we're dedicated to helping people take responsibility for their financial futures. I mean, it's made a huge, massive difference in my life. I wish these tools were available 40 years ago.
Yeah, Tim, look how we've helped Randy. I mean, Randy has become a baseball superstar.
Yeah.
In fact, he's leaving today to go play another week somewhere. And he's,
Phoenix, going to Phoenix.
Yep. And it's because he's here, and it's what we've taught him is to motivate him to become a famous baseball star. So.
Well, that's right. And not only is he famous, he's also awarded.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Big screen too. Big screen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep. Hey, but one thing I want to just add on to what Tim was saying is nobody cares more about your money than you do. You can give it to somebody else so that they can make money on your money and pay you a couple % a year, or you can take control of your own investing and finances and generate your own income. And with all the various techniques that we teach, you can pick and choose which one best fits your style and your lifestyle and your time frame, and you have the flexibility to generate income when you want to generate it. You don't have to go 9 to 5 and work for somebody else. You can work for an hour a day, a half hour a day. You can work in the evening with the futures. You can do covered call trading. You can pick out what time of day do you want to work and how many days that you want to do it and where do you want to do it from. Mark does it from his RV. Tim does it from his condo down on the beach. I do it from wherever I'm playing baseball or wherever I am with the grandkids. It's flexible as long as you have an internet and you got your iPad, iPhone, laptop, whatever. You can generate income, and that's what's so great about being able to work for yourself and do it when you want to do it and free up so much other time to go do other things.
Yeah. Given the patience and time to grow, I think that's one of the reasons I really started trading as a young person and starting to learn it. because it was my thought, I was seeing people go through college and all that. And it was my thought that, say I even made it equivalent to college, and I just decided to spend 4 to 5 years. And I mean, the price of college is all over the map, I suppose, for what you're going for. But 4 to 5 years and a certain amount of thousands of dollars into learning that process. And I thought of the end result of having either, a job that you still have to go to make money to repay the debt, versus this one specific aspect of trading, which is that in trading, you make percentage returns. We talk in percentages all the time, but the how massive an impact that is really bigger than we give it credit for. When it comes down to the hard functionality of what you're doing, if you can click a button, right, and get in it at $1 and get out at $1.05, and you have the ability to do that task, how many contracts you have behind it changes over time. It changes over, your bank account getting bigger. It changes over those things, but that's just one little number. The core function, like the core task, is the same thing. You click the same button to get in at 101 and out at 105, whether there's one contract behind it or 50. And doing that same task can either pay you $100 or $1,000 for the same task. That's the core difference to me, is that if I want to do anything else nearly, I have to do, and I want to make 10 times the money, I have to do 10 times the work, or stay there 10 times as long, or be 10 times more experienced, something like that. Experience is very relevant in trading, but if it's based on a rule-based set of techniques, doing the same thing can pay you more and more over time. And I think that's a very big key that I saw when I was 17, 18, of why I want to learn that personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you're referring to is just the tremendous leverage we have with what we do in options at 100 to 1. There's just very few other things that you can exert this kind of leverage and get the kind of returns that we regularly get.
Yeah, it's great. There's a couple of questions here. Like Carl is asking about the software stuff, and Mark, what's your email address? Yeah, if you want to send me an email at mark@micromomenttrading.com, that's mark@micromomenttrading.com. I'll be happy to discuss that with you, Carl.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Discuss that over email. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And Steve W. says, Randy, have you ever considered doing a one-day workshop for your synthetic covered call technique?
No, I teach it every Wednesday morning, and we have a great time. So come to Wednesday to learn.
But that's a service he can subscribe to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Every Wednesday morning for about 2 hours, and those are recorded, so you can watch them over and over and over again. They're not. I don't play a recording. I give the teaching live, but those sessions get recorded, and for those that subscribe, they get to watch it many times as they want.
He also specifically says, have you ever considered doing a one-day workshop? We know what you do. Have you ever considered doing just a one-day workshop?
Not on the synthetic cover call technique, but I am going to be teaching the TSS technique in a one-day workshop coming up in a couple of weeks live in the market.
Nice.
There you go. And we have regular Saturday and Sunday workshops just about every month. So
Yep.
Much, yeah.
If you
we are done for October, and then we have more coming in November, anywhere from 2 to 4, depending on which ones we decide to go on. But yeah, the TSS, possibly a crypto, either November or the next month, and then yes, lots coming down the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, fantastic. Thank you guys for being here today. Any other questions that anyone has about anything we spoke about today? feel free to drop those in.
Right.
Gentlemen, it's Friday tomorrow. You feel like you've had a good week. Is there anything we can watch out for in the market? Tim, when is Apple's earnings coming up? Anything just going into this next week that would be helpful for our traders?
Yeah, well, we've got the continuing run up to Apple earnings. Mark, when are Apple earnings?
10/28, I think it is, maybe something.
Yeah, I think most of the big tech companies' earnings are next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big week.
Yeah.
Could be big up, could be big down.
Yeah. So
But the week after that, I think the Fed speaks like November 4th or something again. So that always has some
and that'll be
activity around it, right? So
we'll have
anticipation of tapering at that time. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So we have continuing run up to Apple earnings. We are expecting or anticipating a medium to large sell-off after earnings this season due to news of chip shortages and just a lot of things that are going on with Apple that not meeting expectations. So we're not seeing quite the run-up that we normally do in Apple earnings. Prices aren't quite as expensive as they normally are a week out. And remember, all the news gets baked in before earnings. So but we'll be looking right after earnings report. We may have a period of some mild to significant sell-off on Apple. So we'll be trading that for sure.
Sure.
Yahoo Finance says between the 27th and the 1st. So.
Okay.
There's a new question there, Mike, from Robert.
So future charts. Yeah. So my understanding is they are available now in the IC chart package. You have to select futures and you can get to them. And then we're working on launching the whole futures program here. So we're still have a few things in work, but I think the charting is now active as far as I understand.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent.
We've had a lot going on just besides the futures program as well. Lots of transitions. And we are still a small team, right? So we have to make that all happen together. And so we will continue pushing on getting those available as we go into these exciting new things, new year. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see you all guys for our internal meeting. Yep. Looking forward to that.
That's right. Yep. Coming up early next month, and looking forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Well, we will be here Thursday next week at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time with a new topic. Same people. You don't get any new people, unfortunately. I don't feel like
I may or may not be here next Thursday. Depends on if we make it into the final playoff or not.
Right. Fantastic. So you were playing up until.
Yeah, we have a game every day all the way through. Wednesday they're scheduled right now, and then Thursday is into the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So if we make it that far, I'll probably be on the baseball field instead of being here. If I'm here,
you're not there.
That means we didn't make it.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
So we'll expect not to see you next week.
Yeah.
We are waiting for a guest visit from the field on your phone.
Yeah. From the pitcher's mound, in between pitches like that. I'm sure they'll let me pull it out of my pocket and
Yeah, exactly. You're still from the pocket. It might just stick the camera out, right? We can see what you
I could put a GoPro on, right?
That's right.
Well, Randy, you're still the main pitcher, right? I mean, you pitch most of the game, right?
During the regular season, I'm the starting pitcher, and in the tournaments, there's a different pitcher every day. So because usually during the tournaments, because I can pitch up to 3 innings every day. So a lot of times, I'll be the guy that comes in later on and throws 3 innings or so every day.
So you're a middle reliever?
I can be a closer. Last week I closed the games, and so we'll see. It just depends on each coach how they want to do their pitching staff.
Nice, cool. Well, best of luck with that, Randy. Go get them.
Yeah, it's fun. Nice weather. It'll be in the mid 80s out there, sunshine all day. So
nice.
Yeah. Will you get your first card, baseball card, with your picture on it?
Yeah.
You have to have MicroMoment on there too.
in the corner.
By MicroMoment Trading.
Yeah.
In the little bio section. Fantastic. All righty, guys. We will see you very soon.
Bye bye.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks,
Appreciate
everyone.
it.
Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.